Guys, the Premier League is back, and that can mean only one thing: the mighty Arsenal at home against Nottingham Forest this weekend. Marky Mark, what are your thoughts for this game? Must win for Arsenal, right?
It's a must win. You will win. If you don't win, then definitely, guys, make sure you subscribe and check next week, because I'm going to absolutely toast this guy if he does not beat this team. I don't care. I'm going to absolutely blast you into the next millennium, mate. Yeah. Well, it's this Saturday at 12:30, so you got the early kickoff. So you're going to set the tempo. You're at home. You're playing against Nottingham Forest. What happened? Their last game, they lost, right? Who'd they lose against to? Remind me again.
Yeah, Forest lost to West Ham at home. They lost
3-0.
Yeah, they lost 3-0. It's 3 late goals. Jared Bowen, he was quality. But that, notwithstanding, that is the problem that Forest have got, right? They lost their last home game and now they travel away to the Emirates, which is one of the worst places to go. So I would say, yes, it's a must-win for Arsenal and Arteta, but I also think it should be more the famous last words.
Bro, it's not just going to be should be comfortable, bro. They lost against West Ham. And they didn't even score a goal against West Ham. Right, and West Ham have the worst defence. They're so bad. So for them to lose 3-0, now they're going to travel away to Arsenal, who are super strong at home. If you guys don't win by at least 3-0, you guys are shit. Yeah? I don't even speak French.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm saying it. Bro.
Don't forget, this Forest team finished what? What did they finish last season?
Who cares what happened last season? They have a different squad. They have a different first team.
They're a decent side. What I'm saying is, I think we will win 2-3-0.
Think
if we get, yeah, but look, we might win 4-0. We might win 5-0. I don't know, but we'll win this game. But I do think winning it 2-0, I wouldn't suddenly be like, oh, Arsenal are terrible. What I would say, though, is Arsenal coming off a loss, and we're going to talk about that in more detail, to Liverpool, and the fact that we've got City and Newcastle up next, this is a must-win. And it's a must-win for Arteta, where it's got to be another convincing home win.
Let me give you
I think we can agree on.
Okay. Let's say he draws the game. You draw the game against Nottingham Forest. What does that mean for Arsenal? What does that mean for Arsenal and for Arteta?
Kiss the title challenge. It doesn't mean anything for Arteta, probably, but kiss the title challenge. Goodbye.
Already?
Kiss it goodbye.
You played like 3 games. You played 3 games.
Kiss it goodbye. It's what it represents, yeah? Because this will be the 4th game. Now, you said to me, if we don't get the 3 points, what does that mean? Well, it means that we've drawn another game, like we were drawing a lot of games last season. If you want to win the title and you want to go up against Liverpool, City, and to an extent Chelsea this season, you're really going to have to win these games, because Liverpool have looked very shaky across 2.5 of their first 3 games, and they've picked up the 9 points, and they've done that all without Alexander Isak. You want to win this Premier League, Arsenal, Arteta, and of course I want to, as a Gooner, we have to beat Forest at home. We have to win these games at home. Draw represents, it's what it represents, Mark, and actually what it represents is another season without a title challenge, I think.
How about if you lose? What does it mean for Arsenal and Arteta?
Big problems. Back-to-back losses going into City and Newcastle this early on in the season, losing at home. Here's the thing, Mark, yeah, with all these signings, and yeah, we've gone away to Anfield and lost. Loads of teams are going to go away to Anfield this season and lose. It's not the end of the world. That isn't the end of the world. The Emirates needs to be a fortress this season, but not just a fortress where we don't lose. It needs to be a fortress where we win most of our games, if not all of them, pretty much. But most of them, outside of the big 4, we need to be winning pretty much all of those games. That's what champions do, and that is what will strike fear into the rest of the league. Otherwise, they're not going to fear Arsenal. It's as simple as that. And if they don't fear us, then I think you're pissing in the wind a little bit.
I don't think people fear you right now. You could be these sleepers that you keep going on.
You win every game at home without conceding a goal, and you win every single game. That's how you build up that fear, right? Right now they don't, because we drew so many games last season. Now you're telling me we're going to draw or lose at home. What are the repercussions? Well, we'll never get that fear factor. But win all your home games this season, and go away and get some big results. Okay, we've been to Anfield and lost. It's not the end of the world. We've gone to Old Trafford and got 3 points. If we can go away to City and get, 3 points, or go to St James's Park, get 3 points, that's what's going to dictate a title challenge this year for Arsenal.
You go away to Man City and take 3 points. You really think you're going to do that? You have to.
Have to do it.
I've heard that before. We have to go to Liverpool and show that we can do it. I've heard that before.
Well, exactly, but that's what it takes to win the title. This is what it takes to win the title. Okay, we've gone to Anfield and lost. By the way, the manner of that loss bothers me more than the actual loss. I don't mind if we lose at Anfield. Obviously, I'm not happy about it. But you could go to Anfield and lose. Just one of those grounds, right? Like, it's a very, very tough place to go, if not the toughest place to go in the league. It's the manner of the loss, Mark. Another one of those type of losses at the Etihad, we ain't winning squat. That's fact. Well, you've got to go there and show the intent to win. So, okay, the Etihad is not a must-win, but it is a must-show intent to win. Must show intent to win. And if Spurs can go there and beat them, this Arsenal team should go and beat them.
They're a bit of a better team than you. They're probably a better team than you. They're more gelled together. They're more balanced right now.
Who?
That's Thomas Frank. He pisses on Mikel Arteta.
The same Spurs that just lost at home. They just got battered at home. Like,
all right. I'm just trying to get on the.
You're trying to wind me up. Is that you got to try? You got to get up earlier, Mark. You can't be doing that, right? Mark, talk to me now. Okay, we've talked about Arsenal, Forest. Yeah, Forest coming into this with 3-0 loss. Yeah, they haven't looked that good this season. I know they won their first game of the season, but that was against Brentford, and Brentford are rubbish. So, I have to say, this is back to winning ways, and clean sheet is a must. Do you agree?
It's the only option. Anything less than a win with 0 goals conceded for Arsenal. As you said before, you need to make a statement. You're not making a statement because you're playing like a bottom half league team. So it's not a huge statement. You just need to win it. And you need to win it convincingly because you're at home.
Top half. Forest can finish top 10 against this season, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. Last season's different than this season.
I get the point.
We'll see, isn't it?
I agree with you.
It's just started. But the teams every year, the teams are completely changed. So what I want to talk to you about really is Mikel Arteta, because I've been watching a lot of Sky Sports News. I've been watching a lot of TNT, a lot of Arsenal influence, AFTV, and there's a lot of talk about Arteta. And is he too safe? Is he the manager to take Arsenal across the line? Is he the one for you? What's your thoughts about this? Because it's a big topic right now and understandable. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's understandable. Here's the thing. I was really disappointed with what we did last game before the international break. I was really disappointed in Arteta. He showed no intent. And this is my thing. I said to you at the start of this season, Mark, I said to you, we're going to judge Arteta on what he does this season. He's had his window. He's found his missing pieces. He's got Eze in for more as well, more firepower. The back line is still the best defence in the league. There are no excuses now. So you really have to. And here's the thing. I don't mind what he did in the first half. We shut Liverpool out. We quietened the crowd down. You've got to do that at Anfield. You're not going to dominate for 90 minutes. Get there and shut them down and keep them quiet and actually get them to limit. We limited them, I think, to 1 touch in our box. No problem. Mark, my issue is second half. We come out and instead of trying to progress the game once you stop Liverpool playing, we just did nothing. We ambled towards trying to get a draw and nick a goal from a set piece. Ambled. I think it was not a bad game plan for the first 45, but you have to back it up. Otherwise, it's a terrible game plan for the 90 minutes. And it turned out terrible game plan. Now, but before I kick it back to you, and I know I'm going on a bit, but it's important, this bit. There's a lot of fans and a lot of people that come out. I don't know what the problem is. We did a great job up there. We kept them quiet. It took one bit of magic. And that, that can happen. Here's my issue with it. Take magic out of the equation. Show intent to try and win the game. Liverpool were there for the taking, Arsenal. Yes. Liverpool were there for the taking. And at half-time, you've even got Jamie Carragher on the other pundits on there saying, Liverpool are there for the taking. No
Yeah.
one was saying at half-time, Liverpool are going to win this game. They actually said, who's the most likely to win this game, Mark? Who did they say? They said Arsenal, because we shut Liverpool down first half. They've been there for the taking this season based on the fact that they've looked shaky. If you want to win a league title, you have to take advantage when your enemy's a little bit weak, because Liverpool aren't going to be this weak, throughout the rest of the season. And when I say this week, they've taken 9 points.
Maybe he should have taken out, the bulb, a motivational speech. Guys, here's the bulb. When it lights on, that's when you guys come alight. When it turns off, you guys are dead. Why didn't he use that motivation?
The bulb, well, there must have been a power cut, because that bulb wasn't working. And because it wasn't working, we showed nothing.
Sorry.
Right? We showed nothing. Don't be sorry. Look, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm going to take jabs at you. You're going to take jabs at me. But I'm saying, where was the light bulb, Mark? Where was the light bulb? Where was it? You tell me where it was, because it didn't come on. And this is my point. You go into that second half, you do nothing, and that is the difference. And it got me thinking, Mark. It got me thinking. This team, the way it's built, I don't know why I went down this road. Maybe because he's out of a job at the moment. And I started thinking, but I was thinking, prime Jose Mourinho. What does he do with this squad? Because you walk through it, and it's a very Jose type team, right? We're massive. We've got a very good goalkeeper, and then the defense is solid as hell, right? Now you think about Jose first term at Chelsea. You had your spine. I'm not comparing player for player before you get excited here, but check. Terry, Lampard, Drogba. He could do something with, a David Raya, a Gabriel, who's our leader at the back, a Declan Rice in the middle, you've got your Gyökeres up top. He'd use Kai Havertz, no doubt, and then you've got pace on the flanks. You've got the Ezes, you've got the Sakas. But he loves monsters. He loves physical beasts that keep clean sheets and score goals from set pieces, and also just at the threat in every sense, right? And winning games 1 and 2-0. Isn't that Jose's bread and butter?
So what are you saying?
Imagine what he could do.
What are you saying then? Is Jose Mourinho was in charge of the Arsenal team, you have a higher chance of winning the league? Is that what you're saying?
I just had a thought in my head. I wonder what prime Jose would do with this team. Would he get us over the line? Let me ask you, does a prime Jose get this Arsenal team to win the title this season?
Hell no.
Hell no. Tell me.
Hell no. I don't think it has anything to do with Jose, that even in his prime. I think it's got to do with the players. The players today in 2025 are not the same players that are in 2003, 2004, 2005. The players today, there's so much player power. There's so much whinging and bitching, and I think I'm the shit, and, I'm not going to listen to anyone. I'll go on strike whenever I want to. I think that is the main difference. But it's not Jose, it's the players. Back in the day, and you notice it, like, when Jose took over Chelsea in his first stint, they all listened to him, they all feared him, they all say he's the best, we die for him, etc. But you go on a little bit more. And even when he managed at Man U, he managed at Tottenham, he would say to him, the players are not the same. They do what they want. Before, I used to be able to control them. They used to be able to work for me. They used to listen to me. They used to die for me. Players today don't do that. They're fassies. That's too much power. This is my opinion. So you take a prime Jose and you put him in this Arsenal team with these Arsenal players, with their mentality of 2025. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think a manager like Jose Mourinho in today's age will be able to win big things with today's types of players and their mentalities. That's what I think. I think he is an old school, and he is better to work with strong, tough players. Imagine Jose again. You know what? Saliba, you're shit. Yeah? That's what I used to say to Chelsea players. You're shit. You are going to work for me. You're going to get back on the training ground, and you're going to do exactly what I say, because your performance was dead. Now, back in the day, they'll take it. You know what? I'm going to show this manager. I believe in him, and I'm going to show him I'm going to work. I don't think players today are doing that. That's the difference. What do you think about what I just said?
I know what you're saying, and I do agree with elements of that. Here's where I disagree. in any generation, I don't think, and we live in a soft generation. Players are different, player power, they are like that. And look, I know that point's been made, and I get it. Back then there was proper players that were leaders amongst men.
Tough, took on criticism.
I exactly could take it, right? And we live in a soft day and age now where it's difficult to criticize and players get upset. Having said that, here's where I disagree. When you make a blanket statement like that across and then just blanket every player with that, there are still throwbacks in this day and age to players that are old school, that are leaders, and you'll always get that in every generation. You can't just have a generation where every single player is like
they're
that.
Rare. They're rare, geezer. You have to generalize. You have to generalize.
I understand you have to generalize. I understand you have to generalize, but I also asked you, can he do something with this Arsenal squad? Now,
and I said no.
When he came in, Chelsea hadn't won anything, but he had leaders there. If he was to come into, and again, I'm not saying I want to swap out Arteta for Jose. This is just an interesting topic, a hypothetical, right? But if prime Jose comes in and he looks at David Raya, and he looks at Gabriel, for example, and he looks at Declan Rice. These guys are a throwback. Gyökeres, and I'll tell you why Gyökeres, when you listen to him in interviews and whatever else, he's got that old school, no-nonsense approach. Haaland, for example, he's an old school player. He would have thrived. He would have thrived back. I know he's not at Arsenal, but my point being, he would have thrived in the old school. He's not.
I agree.
And this is the thing with this Arsenal squad, where they're physically big and they're physically trained to score goals from corners and be beasts and tough in both ends of the box. The way they celebrate not conceding a goal, this defence, they are. And I'm not saying they're the only ones in the league. What I am saying is that there's enough there, in my opinion, for Jose to work with. But I don't see too many Arsenal. You can accuse Arsenal about not scoring enough goals. Yes, you can currently. You can accuse Arsenal for a lot of things. But what you can't accuse this Arsenal squad of, in my opinion, is these players go to war and they don't look like they throw their toys out the pram. They don't look like they're concerned. Saka, proper grounded kid. You don't see him really acting like, wiling out and like these players. If Saliba got told, he got told. Gabriel tells him all the time. And I think this is the thing. Someone like a Jurriën Timber, it would be interesting. Look, we don't know. We'll never know.
But would you really have? But would you really have? Look, even if what you're saying is right, would you still? Even if you're saying was right, these players can handle a manager like Jose Mourinho, stubborn, tough, straightforward, blunt.
Yes.
Right? Would you really want to have Jose Mourinho come in? Because in 2 years' time, what's his trend of managing teams?
Disarray, mate.
Bro, he's going to undo 6-7 years of Arteta's work, which is, by proven track record, highly likely. So would you, so here's the question, yeah? You bring in Jose Mourinho right now, he wins you the league. Next year, you fudge up, you finish 4th, 5th. You don't even make Champions League. After that, he's completely destroyed and ruined your club, the structure, he's brought in poor players. You're going to go back to step one in disarray. Would you take that?
No, I wouldn't take that, and you're right.
But you haven't won the league in 25 years, in 30 years, or whatever it is.
I'm not saying for sure that prime Jose wins the league. You're saying he doesn't do it in this day and age because players are different. I'm saying but if he wins it, whatever. But you said you don't think Jose wins it with his Arsenal squad for your reasons. I'm not sure he wins it either way. By the way, I'm saying the same as you, but for different reasons. Here's my point on Jose. So Jose, I'm not sure he wins it because he's now going up against two powerhouses, not one. So in 2005, he went up against the Arsenal team. In 06, he went up against United. In 15, he was going up against City, I think, when he won the Premier League. What he will have to do is something I haven't seen him do in the Premier League, is with this Arsenal team, who've never won anything, he's going to have to instill that winning mentality, and he is going to have to break a duopoly of 8 years of Liverpool and Man City sharing the last 8 league titles between them. So not only is he going to have to overcome one, he's going to have to overcome 2. And I'm not sure whether he does it or not. Now, let's say for your point, argument's sake, he does do it. And I'm not saying Arteta can't get over the line. What I am saying is that prime Jose Mourinho has that mentality. I know you are. I can't say for sure. I'd say right now it doesn't look likely. But if Jose was to do it, I mean, he's got that winning mentality, right? If he was to do it, I still wouldn't want Jose at my club because you've got to build for the future. And for the exact reasons that you said, Jose's too risky. Third season, meltdown, implosion, drama. We've spent so long. Arteta will be remembered, I reckon, by the time he leaves us, for the guy that reconnected the fans, built the club back up and got us back to that stage where we can challenge. He may not get us over the line, but the stability's back. Why would you risk that? Why would you risk that? The future's, I'm still going to be watching my team, I hope in 4 or 5 years, right? And I don't want to be watching us struggling to get back to where we are now and thinking, you know what, Mark?
Bro, of course you're still going to be watching your team in 4 or 5 years' time.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you'd be a terrible Arsenal supporter.
If we're both here, right? God willing, right? If we're both here, we're both going to be supporting our teams, right? So
yes, sorry.
Not to make it morbid, but you know what I mean? So we don't know what's going to happen, right? Anyway, stupid tangent. Right, let's just say we're going to be watching our team in 4 or 5 years. I don't want to be watching our team where it's in disarray because Jose's just completely destroyed our club. The fans turn on the club again. Right now there's unity. So I don't want Jose in the club. I'm just saying prime Jose with these tip players. I reckon he'd like these players more than, a lot of other clubs in currently right now.
Guys, let us know what you think, isn't it? Like, if you're an Arsenal supporter, would you have prime Jose Mourinho take over an Arteta right now? And if he does win the league, are you going to be happy with that? But in 2 years' time, he completely disrupts and destroys your team's harmony. Let us know in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? So then tell me, right, before we wrap this up, what's your predictions then for this Saturday at 12:30?
Arsenal 3, Forest 0. Gyökeres scores again at home. Man's flying.
That would be a really good bet. I think I'm going to place a bet on Sky Bet.
Let's lace it.
For Arsenal to win and for Gyökeres to score. I've got to check the odds for that, but I think that's a safe-ish type of bet. You're at home. Gyökeres needs these type of games. Let us know. My score prediction would be also 3. I'll go 4-0. I don't want to be the same as you. That's boring. I'll go 4-0. But if it's not at least a 3-0, 4-0 win and they score or it's like a draw, my God. Arsenal have really something to worry about.
Draw is non-negotiable. We cannot have a draw.
Do you think, if you lost on this Saturday, do you think that the board will consider looking at other options for Arteta?
Question. No. I think they'll give him this whole season. Whatever happens. I think they'll give him this whole season.
Whatever happens.
He's been, I think, short of him completely imploding, I think the reason why is that they've given him this time to build. He's finally got his transfer window that he wanted to make sure he's got every missing piece. They're going to let him. It's been a great window. They're going to give him that opportunity to see if he can bring it home. Great window's great, but he's still got to do what he's got to do with the ingredients. You still need the guy at the top, the manager, to put all those ingredients together. Otherwise, it's just ingredients.
The manager is the most important piece of any team. The most important piece. I remember when Sir Alex Ferguson I saw one of his interviews after he retired, and he had a meeting. I think it was in 2000 with the board of Manchester United, and he was saying, "Let's talk about player wages and my wages." And long story short, they made an agreement that no player will get paid more than the manager. And I think that is the right way to do business. The manager should be king of the hill. The manager should be the messiah. The manager is the one who really dictates how the team is going to go. Do you agree with that?
I guess we'll end the pod on us in agreement. Yeah, of all the things we've agreed and disagreed with on this podcast, 100%. Manager's
you can't allow a player,
top down.
Yeah, sorry. Bro, you can't have a player getting paid more than the manager. For me, that is a bit insane. But I know that it happens pretty much with every team right now because there's some players.
But it goes back to player power, doesn't it? It goes back to player power, right? It goes back to player power, what you just said. Yeah, it is a bit mad, but I'm with Fergie on that one. I think it's the right thing. And I'm with you on that. And the manager is the most important piece.
Guys, let us know your score predictions. And if you enjoyed the video, like it already. And if you want to see more of our content, click this video right here. We'll see you good people in the next one. Thank you, guys.